nobody's excuse. The one question which is never brought up, which is most important, is whether we have an effective leader. Whether our leader matches up. Sabha, is this something?
Arnab,
yeah.
Absolutely, Arnab, Arnab, you're absolutely right. The leader is always protected, and I want to say to Mr. Surjewala, nobody has any glee at what is happening right now. But you must also remember there is a history. You keep worshipping the dynasty, but there's a history of very strong, powerful leaders leaving the Congress, including Sharad Pawar. Please don't forget that. He was against the dynasty. He left the Congress on the principle of dynasty. So you keep on. This is an Sangma who is now headed back towards the BJP.
And Shri
so the
Pawar came back,
exactly, there are such strong state leaders.
Continues to be our valuable ally and respected leader.
But he may be an ally, but your party has also your dynasty. Only when the charisma works does it work. Otherwise, the dynasty has been in decline for a while now. And it's very unfair of you to say the dynasty won you 2009. Even Manmohan Singh had a contribution in that.
Exactly. Today you blame Manmohan Singh.
Was supposed to be good. It was a combined package which worked at that time. Rahul Gandhi has never had a success, Mr. Surjewala, never. I'm not saying that about Sonia Gandhi, but you just don't accept it and you hurt yourself, and nobody is gleeful about the condition in which you find yourself. It is just such a sorry state that this is your opportunity to rebuild yourself.
Absolutely, and I think Mr. Surjewala, instead of once again trying to shoot the media for asking questions, saying you're looking very gleeful, you have a smirk on your face, it's not. What people are more concerned about, Sankarshan, is that
gleeful at anything.
There's nothing to be gleeful about. We're journalists, but what causes us concern is the extent of insulation within the Congress party. It almost appears that 24 Akbar Road is a shell of its own, into which nothing can penetrate. And there is a strong sense of entitlement by which today, for example, a person asking questions is a bad person. You ask questions to the Congress party, you become a right-winger. You see, the fundamental the fundamental fact is today the Congress party is not asking itself the questions. I think Sankarshan, Mr. Surjewala also knows, he's not saying it, that today's CWC meeting was a set-up operation. It was not aimed at serious introspection.
Arnab, I just wanted to take you back to a bit of what Mr. Digvijay Singh said. He's a very senior leader of the Congress, and he said there is no dissent, there are no murmurs. I would like to contradict. You know, we also work on the ground, we interact with Congress people. There is a lot of dissent and a lot of murmur. More than a murmur now after this devastating result has come out. But the Congress party's nature being what it is, it will never float up to the top. That is where CWC is the kind of forum where dissent is absolutely demolished and pushed under the table, which is the opposite probably of the sort of the intention of holding such a meeting, where you bring to the table what's gone wrong and discuss it openly. I'm not saying publicize it to the media. That's the prerogative of the Congress party. But I don't think even in a closed-door meeting like the CWC,
I'm not naming the people.
Things are discussed openly.
No, I'm not naming the people, but I'm not naming them to protect their confidentiality before the results came out. Before the results came out, Mr. Surjewala, there are top Congress leaders and members of parliament who send us SMSs saying we are shattered at the way the party is being run. Top Congress leaders who sent us SMSs saying Rahul Gandhi doesn't even give us time. He's more comfortable with an NGO crowd. This is serious disaffection building within the Congress party, Mr. Surjewala. Are you not worried that it might grow, especially after today's CWC?
Well, Arnab, first let me, I completely reject the suggestions of these fictional leaders that you continue to quote, and I was watching you when you were quoting them to Shri Digvijay Singh ji, but you refused to name them. Yes, there are introspections to be done. Yes, there is a review to be done. Yes, we have to look at our policies and programs afresh, the manner in which we fail to connect with the people, the reasons for not being able to connect with the young people, the reasons why the government and the party both were unable to convey what we are about our performance to people of India. Yes, we also need to look at our organizational structures afresh. Yes,
Fine.
we need to pump in fresh blood into the organization. All these things need to be done. But to blame a single individual, to blame a single leader,
Right.
As if it's an agenda, is
Agenda?
perhaps completely unjust
Whose
and
agenda?
unfair.
Whose
Party
agenda?
and governments of the states
No,
will
whose
look
agenda?
at it afresh.
No, what do you mean agenda? Whose
Well,
agenda?
you tell me.
Whose
You
agenda?
need to answer that.
Whose agenda?
There is
You are
No, you
telling
need
us
to
today
answer
that
that.
as journalists, if we ask the question whether the Rahul Gandhi is held responsible and whether he should step down, you mean that asking that question means running an agenda? Do you really think so, Mr. Surjewala? You really think so? You really think so? Then no, I'm asking you.
Mr.
You really
Arnab
think so?
Goswami, with all respect at my command for you, yes, I'm answering that. Yes, I'm answering that. With all respect that we all have for you, to run an agenda, to downgrade a particular individual,
Mr.
that also the leader of my party, is perhaps unfair and unjust to us.
Mr. Surjewala,
Yes, we have
and let
law.
me say this
and
to
I've
you.
said that repeatedly
Fine,
on your
and
channel.
let me now say this
The
to you because you
CWC
said it.
says
Now
that
let
we
me say
accept
it to
the
you.
verdict of people
Let me say this to you,
India.
Mr. Surjewala.
Yes, my friend from the BJP
Well,
has
fine,
won.
Mr. Surjewala, I'd say
yes,
one
they
thing to
deserve
you.
the acceptability that
I'd say
people
this
have
to you,
conferred
Mr.
on them.
Surjewala.
But to target a leader of my party
Oh
in
my
this
God,
fashion
Mr. Surjewala.
is completely unfair.
Mr. Surjewala, first of all, I'll answer you fair and square
I would
and
like
very
to give a
directly.
different-
And I know
another point of
Sankarshan
view.
wants to come in. I'm coming to you, Sankarshan. You see, Mr. Surjewala, just ask yourself one question today. You ask questions about accountability, and the Congress party responds by saying you're targeting our leader, you're running an agenda. You ask questions about whether the leader should resign, and you say this is part of a campaign and you're running an agenda and you can't do that. Mr. Surjewala, it may serve you today to say this today as a faithful Congress leader, but we are a free nation with an open democracy, and thank God, Mr. Surjewala, the media does not have to be here to please any
Absolutely,
political
you have
party.
every right to say what you want
and
to.
I think I take
But
this.
you can't take my
I would say this.
democratic right to point out what I feel
I
is
would say
correct,
this,
Mr.
Mr.
Arnab
Surjewala,
Goswami.
that it
If
is.
you have a democratic right, even I as a
but
congressman
Mr.
have
Surjewala,
a democratic right to very respectfully
Fine, and people are
point out
hearing
to
you. People
that-
are hearing you,
that
Mr.
there is
Surjewala.
that
You think people are not hearing you, Mr. Surjewala, right now?
When you one individual is unfair and unjust.
Mr. Surjewala, this is not targeting.
And that is my viewpoint.
This is not targeting. This is asking questions. This is not targeting. This is asking straight questions. And I don't believe, Mr. Surjewala, in going on real issues with kid gloves. I know there are other channels which will ask you the questions with kid gloves. I believe that you should ask questions the straight way, but Sankarshan wanted to respond. And I don't think asking questions about whether Rahul Gandhi is responsible 10 times is running an agenda, Mr. Surjewala. In that case, you have just accused the entire country's media of running an agenda. And I think that's wrong because everyone in the country is asking that question. Sankarshan wanted to come in.
I think you're putting my words.
Sankarshan is coming in. Mr. Surjewala, fine. Everyone has an agenda. Everyone's targeting your leader. So, Sankarshan.
I only wanted to say, Arnab, that as a journalist and someone who has to report these events, the Congress is at a historic low. And for the first time in this country, you have a non-Congress government with a majority of its own. These are not ordinary times. So if the media is going to ask questions, it is the job of the media to ask questions and hard questions.
Okay.
I mean, we are not. I mean, what are we doing if we are not going to ask questions? We will ask questions. Having said that, I will also say that I am not at all surprised at what transpired and how the CWC tonight concluded.
Okay.
That is the nature of your party.
I'm going to wrap up, but Mr. Sudhanshu Dwivedi raised it. I'm totally short of time, but I give you 15 seconds to respond out here. 15 seconds only, Mr. Dwivedi, only because I'm short of time.
It always happens when the leadership is selected by loyalty, not by ability. And second thing, the youth leadership, when it is promoted by heredity, not by competence, the result is same. Like Rajiv Gandhi inherited 415 and took to Congress such a situation that they are unable to get the majority. Same thing happened with Rahul Gandhi, same thing happening with Akhilesh Yadav. So it is a lesson for all those political parties who are running on this mechanism, not only the Congress.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on that debate tonight. Thank you.
What's common between a 10-year-old government and a 14-year-old business news channel? Both get toppled by the people's favorite, CNBC TV 18, around for 14 years, has been voted out. ET Now, India's #1 business news channel.